It was great. I mean, I always love seeing a new group of fans. I've been doing this a very long time, obviously, so there's not a lot of first experiences I have left. And so for me to like come to Southeast Asia in general and just see a bunch of new faces is super refreshing. One of my new favorites right now is Selfless. It's a brand new song that I just finished writing last year. I love performing Bleeding Love. I would also say maybe Body Language. I mean, I know the song, you know, I mean, I've played it a million times. It's not my personal favorite, but it never gets old when you see a bunch of people singing your music, you know, that feeling never gets old. I would say just to enjoy every second of every moment, you know, and try not to take anything for granted, and maybe call your mom more.
How many times do you call your mom?
Probably, in her mind, never enough. You know, sometimes I start with a lyric or a concept, write something down, and then I'll take it to the studio and develop it. I've also been in the back of like a taxi cab and thought of something really cool and recorded a voice note into my phone. Sometimes I just go into the studio and just like mess around with my guitar player or on the keys and just try to jam around until something great comes out. Like yesterday I was on the treadmill actually here in the hotel, and I was running, and I was just like, and I thought of something, I heard something very faint musically, like on the speaker, and it triggered like a new melody, and I took my phone and just recorded it, and you know, we'll see, maybe I'll develop it when I get home, but it happens all the time. Well, I mean, certainly it's motivating having fans out there, but I think writing is more motivated by what I experience in my real life, what I've gone through and what I'm still going through, and you know, the different interactions in my life, whether it's relationship or, you know, my career. There's always something that inspires new songwriting. I think I'm just older now. I've learned more, I've experienced more that the world has to offer. I've been introduced to many more cultures, and I'm just more cultured as a person, and I understand a little bit more about how the world works in general. And so that just gives you a greater perspective and allows you to become a better songwriter. On this album, I'm not sure yet. There's a couple of songs that I love that I've written that I think would be great collabs, but nothing's been set in stone. Dead or alive, probably Elvis Presley.
Oh, nice.
I'm gonna go back to the studio. I have, I've been wanting to finish this album, so I'm gonna get home. I have a quick family vacation, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna be in the studio and hopefully writing, through the end of the summer into the fall, and hopefully releasing an album this year or early next. Well, I'd love to direct at some point. I mean, I've done a little bit of it with my music videos, in terms of like writing and producing and directing, but I'd really like to create either a television show or a comedy show where I can be maybe in front of the camera, but focus more on being behind the camera. Yep, so this I was probably 12 or 13 years old. And this brings me back to my first television experience or debut. It was the first time I was ever on camera. It was the first time I remember having to really be good at memorizing lines. It was like a new thing because they do so much material. The soap opera shoots an hour of script every single day, which is unheard of. This was a lot of fun, but it was definitely, I remember being a nerve-wracking experience early on. Yeah, this is 106.1 BLI. This is in Long Island. I only know that because it has the poster in the background. But also, there's Matt and myself. Matt and I actually still keep in touch from Dream Street. He was kind of like the sporty spice of the group. He was always in a jersey. This brings me back to the my first sort of recording days, early days of me recording music. That was the first album I had ever recorded. It's feels like it was yesterday, but it was many, many years ago. Oh, this was great. So there's, that's funny. Is that Emily in the silver hair? It's really funny. Yeah, so this is Miley and Emily, and I guess, I don't know, let's see how many years later would this have been. I guess 10 years later. Working on Young and Hungry was just a lot of fun, and it was actually the first time I had been on a multi-cam comedy, like as a regular, you know, as a recurring role. That's when I really fell in love with comedy all over again, was working on Young and Hungry. But this did inspire a lot of creative ideas for me as a writer and as somebody who's very interested in comedy. I do remember this. This is, I'm making, I think, mozzarella cheese, and I don't know if this was in New York. I actually think I remember the headline for this article, and it was called "A Ham with Cheese," which was a great title. But yeah, this was great. I mean, this sort of was like in the time when I just started becoming obsessed with the culinary world and making food and foodie. But I remember this in particular. I'd just gotten back from Italy, I think, and I was obsessed with cheese. So that's a good one. This is Jordan and I, Jordan Sparks. This must have been in like 2008, probably, on our tour. Yeah, and I can't remember the name of the tour at the moment.
Jesse and Jordan.
Is that what it was?
Yes.
Yeah, and you had the best time together, and she's got such an unbelievable voice. We actually did a duet at the end of my show. Just so much fun every night. We had a great time. Hey guys, I love you. Thank you so much for all your support. I love this place. I just had so much fun here, and I'm looking forward to coming back. I'll see you soon.